Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Let us move on to our next chapter on plane kinetics. And we will start from kinetics of a particle, move on to system of particles, then finally rigid body. And we would view this about a fixed point. Okay, I have a fixed frame of reference and I have an arbitrary path specified like this. I have a particle which is moving along this path, and we could also label the positions like a position vector r1 at time t1 and it has a velocity v1. It moves to some other point and we have this as a generic point. I have this as position vector r. I have the velocity is nothing but r dot tangential to the path, and it moves to another point at time t2. I call this as r2. I have this velocity as v2 at time t2. Many of these quantities you might have seen earlier in your courses. It is a more of a recapitulation, and today is a day where you will be writing equations after equations in a very comprehensive manner. That will be good to have a notes like this. So, the particle has a mass m, then I can also define linear momentum. I have this as mass into velocity, and the standard symbol used for this g. So, do not confuse this with the center of gravity g. So, learn it from the context, interpret the symbol out of the context. So, I have g equal to mv, mass into velocity, and I have a net force acting on the particle, and I can write the acceleration, that is v dot in this direction, and we also have the relation summation of f equal to mv dot, that is rate of change of linear momentum. So, I have this rate of change of linear momentum written down like this. One can also write the angular momentum, and we have already said that we will do this about fixed point O. See, in this chapter, when we move on to system of particles and rigid bodies, we would like to look at the mass point g as well as an arbitrary point p. Fine. And I have r cross mv is given as r cross g. I get this as angular momentum. These are all standard symbols, capital HO. O depicts about which point I have put this angular momentum. And I can also look at the rate of change of angular momentum. So, I can expand this and write it r dot cross mv plus r cross mv dot and you know very well this goes to 0. So, I have H dot O as R cross NV dot. And from simple mathematics, you will know that the first term is cross product of two equal vectors, that goes to 0. That is what is shown there. I can also label this as moment about O, that as R cross NV dot, that is nothing but R cross F. So, you can go back to your statics and then look at the meaning of these expressions. And we get a relationship, moment about O is nothing but rate of change of angular momentum about O. Now, we move on to system of particles. I have a system of particles like this. I enclose this by a system boundary. I have a mass point. See, many natural phenomena you have system of particles. You see birds flying, when they go from one migratory location to another migratory location, they form a pattern. Similarly, fish, they also find within the sea, they form in a group and then go. And look at Amazon forest, you have animals going in groups. Something drives them to form into a group and then go. You can really see how the system of particles will move by looking at what happens at the mass point, provided no animal is killed by the predator, fine, because we are looking at a system where the mass remains constant. We are not looking at a system where mass changes. So, I have a representative point, and we will also have some discipline in labeling them. Okay. So, we are going to develop expressions with respect to fixed point O, mass point G, and an arbitrary point P. For clarity, I will put the arbitrary point outside the object here, so that the diagram looks cleaner. When I say arbitrary point, it can be anywhere in space that is convenient for us to do the calculations later. And you should recognize, when I have an arbitrary point, that point will have an acceleration. It is not like a fixed point O, which is fixed in space. So, that is the difference. I have a inertial frame of reference attached to point O. Such a restriction is not there for G as well as P. The points can have accelerations. So, O is a fixed point and I have the position vector, and you have a discipline whenever I put a bar that indicates that I am dealing with the mass point. Quantities attached to the mass point G, we will have a discipline to put a bar over the quantity. And any arbitrary point is located by position vector Ri. I can also view this point from G. I can also view this point from arbitrary point P. So, we will also have to label the position vectors appropriately. I am following the same symbolism used by Merriam. So, I have this position vector represented by rho. I have rho I from the mass point G, and I have an arbitrary point P located at a position vector Rp. For clarity, I am putting it outside. It can be anywhere that is convenient to solve a given problem, fine. So, when I want to find out what is the position vector, I label it with F prime instead of simple row, I put this as rho prime. So, symbolism that is used is I reserve the symbol r from the fixed point. Okay. I use rho from the mass point, I use rho prime from arbitrary point. I can also have a position vector connecting P and G. Now, I am going to attach this to a mass point. So, I will have a bar over it. So, I will call this as rho bar. So, I am consistent in my symbolism. The symbolism is consistent. Okay. So, once you understand the symbolism, you can easily write down these position vectors comfortably. So, this is reiterated here. Position vectors from fixed point O are depicted as R, from any other point referred as rho. In addition, if a bar is put on top of them, they refer to the mass point G. Rho or rho prime. For the arbitrary point, we put it as rho prime. From the arbitrary point P, the position vector of the particle is referred as rho prime. It is better to have a convention so that you do not get lost when you have an array of equations. For you to interpret, you can recall from memory what way we have labeled them. So, velocity of any particle can be represented by Vi as the mass point velocity plus rho dot. So, we are going to get advantage of system of particles where the mass is not changing. So, I have G as summation of Mi Vi, and this can be reduced to simply Mi V bar plus rho dot I, that reduces to Mi V bar plus d by dt of sigma Mi rho I. Can you see something interesting here? You know, we are going to do this kind of simplification again and again. We recognize that we are looking at from a mass point. So, obviously, this has to go to 0, since it is about G. We would be doing the simplification again and again. Okay. Some of those things I would skip the steps also for saving time, and you must be able to figure out from the expressions correctly. So, I have a very interesting relation G cap equal to M V bar cap. Very well known expression, it is not something new to you, we are only revisiting the expressions that you know already. Then I go for linear momentum, G equal to mv bar, and rate of change of linear momentum, I get this as G dot equal to mv bar dot, and summation of F equal to G dot. Then we can also move on to angular momentum about O. So, I have H naught equal to R I cross M I V I. So, the position vector is R, that is what you refer from O. So, R cross M into velocity, and when I look at rate of change of angular momentum, differentiate it correctly by applying the product rule. Do not swallow up any terms. So, when I have H dot, I get this as R dot cross M dot V plus R cross M E dot. We will also simplify this. This goes to 0, and I have this as H dot equal to moment about O, and I have the identity summation of moment about O is nothing but rate of change of angular momentum about O. Once we come to a system of particles, we would also look at about point G as well as point P. Those are all the expressions which are of interest for us to handle them later. How do I define angular momentum about G? So, look at here, this does not change, this is again m into v, but the vector which I use now is rho I. Instead of r I, it is rho I. How can I express this relationship? Fine. You have to understand this as a definition. We would also develop another symbolism. Here I have said angular momentum about G. I can also have angular momentum Hg rel. When I replace this Ri as rho I dot, I will call that as Hg rel. Okay. So, Hg may be expressed in terms of moments about G of linear momenta relative to G or relative to P. These become convenient when we want to extend it for rigid body mechanics. When I derive the expressions, we will use these identities cleverly to minimize our computations. Okay. But the final expression which you are going to do for solving problems are very, very simple. Right now, you will have array of equations coming up one after the other, playing with symbols and so on and so forth. It is good that you have this as a summary in your notes. So, relative to G, I define Hg rel. I have already told you how I am going to define Hg rel. I would call this as rho I cross mi into rho I dot. When I have this as angular momentum about G, I use the appropriate position vector. But when I put this as a relative quantity, I also play with the velocity. I am using a relative velocity. In some cases, it is easier to handle relative velocity computations, and I would replace rho dot as r dot minus r bar dot, because ultimately we are going to simplify the expressions and you will get a very nice simplification here. And I am skipping some of those steps. You have to expand this and bring in what are the knowledge that you have, and also switch between the product. Instead of rho I cross r bar, I would switch it. When I switch it, the sign also will change. Okay. So, all that is done, and I have the expression like this. I could rewrite this expression in this fashion. I have initially written down the definition, replace this rho dot as r dot minus r bar dot. When I rewrite this, I could write it like this, taking on this identity. I can write this as Hg. Can you see something interesting here? What is the value of this term? I have a mass point. So, I have summation of mi rho a becomes what? That goes to 0. So, you have a very important relation. Hg rel is same as Hg. That is the identity you get. It is a very interesting identity. We have now done it with respect to relative to G. We will also do it relative to point P. So, I have the same expressions here. I have written down what is Hg. Now, I do it relative to P. So, when I write it relative to P, I have this. So, I have rho dot prime. Rho dot prime is what I am going to do. and this could be replaced in terms of the vectors, and you put the product and group the terms appropriately. I can write it like this. Here again I get an identity Hg rel is equal to Hd. It is a very interesting identity. Whenever we take advantage of it, we can compute it from relative quantities or the definition what is shown here. Please write this down, and I hope it is free of typographical errors. If there are any errors, please bring it to my attention. So, I have Hg equal to rho cross MIRI, and I have rate of change of angular momentum. So, I differentiate it by applying the product rule properly, and when I look at this, this can be simplified further, and you have a very interesting relationship here. So, R dot can be replaced as R bar dot plus rho dot, and finally, the whole thing reduces to 0. So, this term goes to 0. That is what is shown here. Please take your time to write down. I have not done the simplifications step by step. Intermediate steps I have skipped. Fill in those steps in your notes later, not now in the class. You can go back and fill in the missing steps. So, I get mg equal to h dot g. So, we will write angular momentum about P, and when I say point P, you can imagine that there is a non-rotating axis attached to P. When I say a non-rotating axis attached to P, that axis can have acceleration. You do not lose sight of it. The point P, what I take, it is not a static point in space, it can have acceleration. Fine. So, I have Hp equal to rho prime cross MRI. Similar simplifications we have done for the earlier case, we will continue to do it here. So, I will replace rho prime as rho bar plus rho I. I have rho bar plus rho I get this rho prime. Okay. I get this expression, then simplify this and then knock off terms that go to 0. So, I can replace from the earlier definition this as simply Hg. So, for an arbitrary point, I can write this angular momentum consisting of two terms, one from the mass point g plus rho bar cross mv bar. So, that is what is rewritten here in a elegant fashion. About a point P, I can write it with respect to g plus rho bar m v bar. And I can also define what is Hp rel. See, we have been consistent in defining these quantities. When I say put relative, I replace by the relative velocity. So, here it is rho prime dot is the velocity now, and this also can be simplified. I can replace this as rho bar plus rho I cross m rho dot prime. So, when I also bring in another interpretation, there is paucity of symbols. Okay. When I say rho bar dot, I can call that as V bar rel. Do not confuse it with your V rel what we have seen in a rotating frame of reference. So, these are two different contexts, interpret it in the current context. We are just defining rho bar dot as V rel, V bar rel. Okay. The definition is given right here. The definition of this terminology is given right here. So, I could rewrite this as do the simplification yourself later. So, I get this as rho bar cross m v bar plus 0 plus h g rel. So, I have h p rel as h g rel plus rho bar cross m v bar rel. That is the final identity I get. These are multiple equations. It will look as if it is a bit confusing, but all these are easily derivable, very systematic. It is better to have all these equations in your notes. So, we will look at the moment equation about P. So, I have put the net force acting on the system of particles as F equal to ma, and any quantity I am writing it with respect to the mass point, I always put a bar. The same convention is used. The position vector is put with bar, the acceleration is also put with a bar, velocity is also put with a bar. Whenever I have a bar over it, it indicates that I am talking about mass point quantities. I also have a moment mg, that is equal to rate of change of angular momentum about g. So, I have moment about point P equal to moment about point G plus rho bar cross F. So, this is nothing but m p equal to h dot plus rho bar cross m a bar. And we would also rewrite it in multiple different ways, which can be used later for simplification. So, the moment equation about P can be expressed in terms of angular momentum about P. We have already looked at h p rel equal to h g rel plus rho bar cross m v bar rel. And we also know the identity h g rel equal to h g, and we have also seen what is the definition of this velocity v bar rel. Okay. You should not confuse with the rotating frame of reference. In this context, it has a particular interpretation. So, I have h g dot equal to h g dot rel, that is equal to h p dot rel, and take it to the other side. Okay. You do the differentiation properly and write all the terms, then bring in the simplification. So, I get this as rho bar dot cross m v bar rel minus rho bar cross m v bar dot rel. Very simple, it is straightforward. I have just differentiated this and then written it here, and this goes to 0. So, I have expression for h g. So, this could be substituted in this equation, fine. So, that is what I am going to do. I am going to write we have seen m p equal to h dot g plus rho bar m a bar, replace h dot g as h dot p rel plus rho bar cross m a bar, minus rho bar cross m v bar dot. This is just reproduce the equations that I have written down in the previous slide. And you also have another identity. See, when I am looking at a point P, okay, if I have the acceleration A, that has AP plus rho bar double dot. So, I can write this as AP plus V bar dot rel. Okay. So, I would replace use this and then rewrite the expression in a different fashion. So, I can write MP as simply H dot P rel plus rho bar cross M AP. So, the idea is the point P has an acceleration AP. So, I can write the moment about point P in terms of the angular momentum, rate of change of angular momentum about P plus rho bar cross M AP. This is the most general expression. So, I have MP becomes H dot P rel if any of these three conditions are satisfied. If AP is 0, it is like this. This term goes to 0 when AP is 0, or rho bar is 0, or rho bar and AP are parallel. So, the second term goes to 0 when any one of these conditions are satisfied. Then I have MP equal to H dot P rel. See, this is nothing but playing with mathematics. You get multitude of expressions. We have looked at the identities in between them. We will use them judiciously later. Now, let us move on to kinetics of rigid bodies. So, imagine that I have a rigid body like this acted upon by arbitrary system of forces. Under the action of these forces, we have already seen that the body will have a translation as well as a rotation, and we call that as a general plane motion. If the body has translation as well as rotation put together, we call that as general plane motion. So, this is a free body diagram, and this is equivalent to saying that this has a summation of forces as well as a summation of moments. Thus, this has a translation as well as a rotation, and you have this as equivalent force couple diagram. And you also bring in another terminology here. You call something as kinetic diagram. Okay. And I have this as a kinetic diagram. This has a translation like this and a rotation dictated by Ig alpha, and this is known as a kinetic diagram. So, in many of the problems when we do it in kinetics, we would like to have the kinetic diagram properly represented, so that you visualize what happens to the rigid body. Use those quantities appropriately in doing the computations. So, I have a basic free body diagram which could be reduced to a simpler representation of equivalent force couple diagram, which can also be viewed as a translation and a rotation, all with respect to the mass point g. So, we will look at rigid bodies in general plane motion, and we will look at about g. So, we have these identities F equal to m a bar and mg equal to h dot g. So, I have a system of forces acting on the rigid body, and I have reference axis x and y. Let me also represent the accelerations and rotation of this, okay, and take a arbitrary point. We have the identity hg rel equal to hg. I am going to use this. I take an arbitrary point on the rigid body. This mass point has mass of mi and the distance is rho I. And I have already said that we know hg rel equal to hg. So, instead of writing hg from the first principle, I will write hg rel, that is easier for me to write, and use the expression. By definition, I get hg rel equal to rho I cross mi rho I dot. So, this is where we use the identity. We have proved earlier hg rel equal to hg. Now, my interest is hg, but I will just estimate hg rel from the definition, basic definition, and simplify it. Computations are easier for relative velocity. That is the advantage I have. And I can write from our understanding of rigid bodies in general plane motion, rho dot as omega cross rho I. So, when I substitute here, I can simplify it as hg, the magnitude turns out to be ig omega, and when I take the differentiation of that, I have h dot g. I get this as ig omega dot. Omega dot is nothing but ig alpha. This is one way of deriving the expression. We have taken the advantage of our earlier identity hg equal to hg rel. I can also do it from another fundamental perspective. We will derive this expression from both the ways. Okay. Here I have used this identity, and I could directly come and say that mg equal to ig alpha. Okay. That is a final expression that will be of use to us repeatedly. We will also look at from a different perspective. For clarity, I have shown it little bigger. Okay. So, make a neat sketch of it. I have the representative point, and which is located at a distance of yi and xi like this, and the mass point is put as mi, saying that it is a generic point, and I have acceleration of this as mi a bar, and I have the force which is put as mi a bar, and this body has a angular velocity as well as the angular acceleration, and I have this as alpha. So, these are all the other components of forces which you get, fine. And I can write mgi. If I want to find out moment about the point g, I can write this as mi rho I squared alpha, this distance is rho I, plus I have the horizontal and vertical component. You have done the Varignon's theorem. It is nothing but writing it from the Varignon's theorem. And we have a very interesting, when I sum them up, the terms go to 0, that is what we are going to look at. So, mg equal to sigma of mi rho I squared alpha, and this is the way I can sum them up, and you know very well that we are writing this with respect to the mass point g. So, by definition they go to 0, and I simply get mg equal to ig alpha. So, the whole idea is moment about g in a rigid body reduces to your moment of inertia ig into alpha. Alpha is your angular acceleration of the body. We have derived it in one way earlier, we have re-derived it from first principles in this slide. Okay, the final result is this. It is a very useful result. And when I have a rigid body in general plane motion, I always recognize summation of f equal to m a bar and summation of moment about g as ig alpha. So, I have this as m a bar and ig alpha. And we will now look at what are all the simple motions that we know of. We have looked at translation, we have looked at curvilinear translation, we also have general plane motion, we also have fixed axis rotation. So, what we are going to do is simplify these expressions for the given context, any one of these simplified motions. And about point P, just to emphasize that we have attached a non-rotating axis attached to this point, I can also write the expressions, and for the generality, the point P can be on the body, can be outside. So, I have taken it within the body here, and I represent any quantity related to the mass point with a bar. So, I have ig alpha m a bar and mp equal to h dot g plus rho bar cross m a bar, and I have mp equal to, this is the perpendicular distance d. So, I can write this simply as ig alpha plus m a bar into d. It is a very, very important expression. You will repeatedly use it later on in solving problems. Also, another form can be looked at. Now, we would like to get ourselves armed with different forms of these expressions. Depending on the context of the problem, we would invoke one of these. And I can also recognize that the point P has an acceleration a p. Then I can put the motion differently. I can also have I p alpha. So, m p equal to h p dot rel plus rho bar cross m a p. Go back and then see which we have derived it earlier. I have invoked that. And h p dot rel is nothing but I p alpha. The magnitude of this is nothing but I p alpha. So, I p is the mass moment of inertia about an axis through p. And I can write this m p as I p alpha plus rho bar cross m a p, where a p is the acceleration of the point p. So, these are again another representation, either I could use this or I could use this depending on which way I would like to solve the problem. And the most general form is this, m p equal to h p dot rel rho bar cross m a p, and I can put this as I p alpha plus rho bar cross m a p, and I could look at specific conditions. When rho bar goes to 0, p merges with g. So, I have this as m g equal to I g alpha. We have also seen it earlier, m g equal to I g alpha. When a p equal to 0, point p becomes O. The definition of fixed point is you have a inertial frame attached to this, the point does not move. So, AP becomes when AP becomes 0, point P becomes O, and I have m naught equal to I naught alpha or MO equal to IO alpha, whichever way you would like to express it. And I have m naught equal to H dot O. So, this is the most general form of representation. And you can also extend it for the interconnected rigid bodies. You can also put the kinetic diagram for the interconnected rigid bodies. So, I have Ig alpha plus summation of m a bar d. So, I have a summation here, and I have m1 a1 bar, m2 a2 bar, and I have I1 bar alpha 1 and I2 bar alpha 2. I also have a arbitrary point P located like this. So, in this class, we have looked at systematically kinetics of a particle, followed by system of particles, and then finally to rigid body. We have got the most general expressions, and we would reduce them for specified rigid body motions for translation, curvilinear translation and general plane motion in the subsequent class. Thank you.